the 7 trending AI developments in healthcare. I'm not sure if you're ready for this, Dimitri, but today we're going to have a chat, and I'm sure with your massive experience, we're going to be able to show the audience today how AI is revolutionizing healthcare, and it's happening right before our eyes. It's literally, we're seeing the thing happen. So if you're struggling to keep up with this this breakneck pace of AI and all of its advancements in medicine, we're going to cover 7 trending developments. And we believe that these are the 7 trending developments that you need to know. So, Dimitri, are you ready? Shall we get going?
Absolutely, anytime, Dudley.
Excellent. So let's start with the first trending development in healthcare. What would you say is that one?
Yes, I think it's still refinements to existing AI models for the imaging analysis. I mean, we're talking about a recent improved version of the artificial system that detects lung cancer using CT scans, and that's actually recent advancement reduced false positive results by 15%, which is huge, taking account that we're talking about life-threatening conditions. Another example, there is a new artificial intelligence model that can differentiate between types of brain tumors using MRI scans. And that's actually works with 95% accuracy. I mean, if you can compare it with a regular radiologist or other specialists, we're talking about 85%. So we have a huge advances in these directions.
Yeah, I remember we covered that some time back where we had this debate around people being worried that AI, it makes 5% mistakes, but actually humans make a few more than that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's tackle the next one, because I think what we'll do is we'll tackle them one at a time, and let's try and bring them all together quite nicely at the end. What do you think is trending topic number 2?
Well, I think large language models. That's actually, I mean, they're kicking in, and I mean, good example is, I guess, a specialized version of large language models that are fine-tuned for the using latest medical literature, which actually is a revolution by itself. Especially recently, and these models, they are capable of suggesting different treatment plans, and for pretty complex cases, because it's very tough actually even for the doctors to keep up with the latest advancement. And I think those large language models, picking up latest researches, latest white papers, they're helping a lot to keep our doctors on the up to date, basically. And another example is an artificial intelligence system that can generate a very detailed, personalized patient education materials based on the specific diagnosis or treatment plan. And we're talking about all kinds of conditions. I don't know, obesity, diabetics, all kind of physical therapy. And I mean, when you received suggestion from the very patient artificial intelligence instead of doctor, they're tired to say the same things over and over again, and seeing how patients just do not follow those recommendations. That I think, I hope it might actually make a huge difference in the life of many patients with some serious diagnosis.
Absolutely, and I would think that the fact that the AI is available 24/7, it's available. It's like having a team of experts constantly available that you can call on. You don't have to wait for someone to come in on their shift or the next day or something like that.
Yep, and AI is never tired, right? And another thing, another area is advancement in artificial intelligence-driven drug discovery pipelines. I mean, it's because it's very complicated calculations, a lot of connecting unknown pieces. And I think AI, well, I mean, it's not my opinion, so AI is very good in this direction, in these algorithmic approaches. And good examples would be recently developed artificial intelligence platform that identified a potential treatment for very rare genetic disorders and actually it accelerates the clinical trial significantly, because again it shows the mistakes in the clinical trials. It actually shows potential improvements in the drug during this trial. So a lot of advancement coming here. Another example, again from the recent history, it's artificial intelligence system that successfully predicted the 3D structure of the previously unknown not categorized protein that actually involved in the Alzheimer's disease development. And I mean, hopefully by the time we age, that disease will not exist anymore, right? So that's kind
because
of,
it's quite horrific for family members,
Yes.
friends, etc., to see someone suffer from something like Alzheimer's.
Yeah. And another trending, I guess, area in artificial intelligence that is basically algorithm for personalized medicine. We somewhat touched it, but I guess it's a slightly separate, slightly different category. And I mean, by example, so for example, artificial intelligence model, again, it's a recently developed one, can predict a patient response to some immunotherapy treatment. And actually, it can predict it with a very high level of accuracy. We're talking about 80% based on some genetic and clinical data. I mean, this is basically the amount of accuracy in this prediction is unheard in the clinical studies, because pretty much before it was hit and or miss. Another one, it's a system that basically optimize drug dosage, again, for patients with some chronic diseases, again, based on some genetic, clinical data, medical data, and that reduces side effect by 30%. I mean, we all know, I mean, how COVID was very hard on us, and how basically treatments, what was the side effects after the COVID pandemic. A lot of people had some heart disease side effects. And well, I mean, I think that if we would use this system, it would significantly reduce those side effects overall, and we would have significantly less impact from those events.
Yeah, I think there's probably two major things, and it's easy to translate. I mean, it's massively expensive developing new therapies, new drugs, new treatments, etc. That's the one thing. The other thing we saw in the COVID pandemic, which is quite an interesting, I would say, a change in terms of the speed of delivery of a lot of those vaccinations. Where in the past it would take 2, 3, 4 years before you have something released, and it'd have to go through multiple clinical trials, etc. But it was, you know, whether you believe in that stuff or not, the bottom line is the speed at which they got those vaccines out was unheard of before it actually happened for COVID.
Well, there was a good timing. They actually had a discovery. It was, and they could use this discovery. But still, I mean, if we wouldn't have this pandemic, nobody would push this discovery out to the public. And obviously, there were some shortcuts. Obviously, there were some corners that were cut. But I mean, we didn't have a choice. And I guess if we would have this technology, we would at least significantly reduce the side effect that a lot of people had after the COVID shots, basically, back then. But again, my personal opinion, everything was done properly. We didn't have any other choice.
Yeah, and if you just think of the scale at which they did it, I think that in itself is like a mini miracle. The speed and the scale at which it was done.
Yeah.
So there we go, Dimitri. We got the top 7. So let me just quickly. I'm going to bring it all together, and maybe we can just tie the knot at the top. So the 7 trending AI developments reshaping healthcare. We're talking about smarter imaging, personalized treatments for AI-assisted surgeries, etc., and proactive monitoring. We're entering a new era of medicine, but let's take a step back and consider what all of this stuff means. So AI in healthcare isn't about just replacing doctors or nurses. It's about augmenting human capability, speeding up processes, as we said, and uncovering insights that might be hidden. So if we, it's about making healthcare more precise, more accessible, and ultimately more human. Are you seeing that? I mean, are you seeing that in out in the workplace?
Well, I mean, we do well because we work kind of from as a side of this domain. We building software application for using artificial intelligence and implementing artificial intelligence, but with the limited access to actual medical environment. I mean, talking about patient caring and everything else. Don't have time, to be frank, and I do see a lot of improvements in this direction. I do see a lot of well, let me put it this way. I do see a lot of business impacts from the artificial intelligence. And we're talking about reducing expenses. We're talking about improved revenue for the hospitals, for the medical providers. And this will for sure will bring to better care to patients, because I mean, if you cutting costs, it means that you can care for my patients, you can reduce cost to patients, it can be more affordable, it could be more quick, it could be more efficient, less time for the doctors, fewer mistakes for the patients. So even so, I didn't touch personally people that were affected by the system, but based on this number, it can be easily deducted without any doubt that there is a huge improvement, a huge progress in this direction over the past couple of years.
Yeah, and we shouldn't end. I think we shouldn't end the podcast without this particular phrase or concept. I just want to share, and that's, with great power comes great responsibility. And I think when we're embracing all these new AI advancements, we need to stay vigilant. I think we need to stay ahead of, like, what are the main issues? I mean, we're dealing with data privacy, algorithmic bias. I mean, we spoke a lot about bias in previous episodes. And then also just looking at the ethical use of AI in healthcare decisions. So, it's all one thing to say, oh, AI has come up with it, with that, but with a solution or with some kind of result. But the ethical side of things, I mean, you could quite easily stray. I mean, we've seen this with things like cloning and other types of things that get a little bit, I would say, on the dodgy side of things. People can take things a little too far. So there has to be ethical considerations around healthcare and AI, because it's got such a massive impact on us humans. It's pretty much the way we survive is by being healthy.
Well, that's true. I mean, as you said, with some genetic or with some artificial, with some other stuff which can be considered unethical from the religion standpoint, for example, right? And we have different beliefs, we have different approaches, but I think as long as you don't play a god, and as long as you just work in technology, and as long as you just thinking toward that you want to make a human better, you want to help this person and make his help him in the treatment, that is positive, and we're gonna move in this direction regardless. I guess some controversial information or discussion, including artificial intelligence, because as you mentioned, artificial intelligence can be a little bit questionable from some aspects, right? I mean, it's better than human, it provides better information, it makes better decisions, and so on, so on. But we shouldn't be afraid of this. It's the same as I guess industrial revolution in 19th, 20th centuries, when machines could do much better work, significantly more powerful, and nothing happened. Well, I mean, yeah, there are some side effects from the industrial revolution for sure, pollutions and everything else. But as humans, it didn't impact us. We just moved forward with progress, and I think we just on another to start another revolution. It's happening. We see it. What the consequences, we don't know yet completely. We will see in a few years.
I want to mention a positive consequence of the previous industrial revolutions, and something people often forget, and that is, prior to the Industrial Revolution, everyone worked 7 days a week.
Correct.
And I think it was almost the invention of the weekend came about when it came to the Industrial Revolution, because all of a sudden you couldn't get people to work 7 days a week alongside the machines. You needed to give them some kind of break, or else there'd be some accidents, there'd be things going wrong, a whole lot of things. So the work week, the weekends, a lot of those things were new inventions over the last 200 odd plus years in the Industrial Revolution. And then the byproduct of that is now you got a weekend. And now what do you do with your time on the weekend? Now imagine the sport that's being played today compared to what was played 100 to 300 years ago. I mean, watching TV was an unknown thing many years ago because we didn't have them. But what did you do with your time? I think people were doing all kinds of other things, maybe drinking too much, who knows? But right now we got sport, we got activities, and because we got weekend, because there are machines doing a lot of the work for us. So there are positive outcomes. I just don't know if the weekend's just going to get longer with AI. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I mean, as you mentioned, well, I mean, that's actually a very good example, because as you remember, at the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, the working conditions were horrible. I mean, the workers would work for 12 hours without weekends. Kids were heavily involved in the factory activities, a lot of injuries, a lot of death, to be frank. So it was unethical to some extent, especially comparing with the previous relaxed. Well, I mean, it's like we're thinking that farming is relaxing. It's not relaxing at all. It's very yes, correct. And without weekends, especially during the summer period, trust me, there is no weekends at all. And winter also is loaded with activities. But as industry progresses, as you mentioned, we have a lot of benefits. We have weekends. And to be frank, these days we have a lot of artificially created jobs that just keeps people working from being unemployed. And I can give you a lot of examples. I myself live in New Jersey, and here at the gas station, you cannot pump your car. There is a special person that will pump your car. I mean, for the God's sake, I mean, everybody can do that. Like, but in New Jersey, now they created literally tens of thousands of jobs artificially just for this. And I think we will see it more and more, as you mentioned, because people will have more time, entertainment, weekends. I mean, I don't want to talk about negative impacts about this free time. So let people, that's their choice, what they want to do in their free time, to do some creative stuff or drinking, right? That's another conversation. But that is this is a positive. We have more time. We're growing as a humans. We're growing as I don't know. I don't know what to explain. That's a very. I mean, it's a very wide topic, and it's literally another podcast
it's
session.
A whole new episode, but and it's going to be very interesting.
It's extremely complicated. A lot of decisions. But again, going back, artificial intelligence is an enabler. It's not a negative piece. It enables you to do whatever you want, something else. You wanted to funnel it in the positive direction, good for you. If you cannot handle it and funnel it in the negative direction, okay, well, I mean, okay, fine. I mean, I have my path, you have your path, right? So, but it is, without any doubt, it is enabler, and we just need to make sure that it enables us in the positive directions. And I'm sure
it does. I like where you said you have your path, I have mine, kind of thing. And I think people are going to start thinking more about what is their real purpose. Why are they on Earth? Why are they? And I think it's a really healthy conversation. It's things we couldn't do much in the past because we were forced just to work. I mean, it's all you were born. As soon as you were able, you were working. And as soon as you couldn't work anymore, you were pretty much put one side and somebody younger was put in your place. And that was it. So let's just quickly just tidy this up. So we've got one of the last areas that I think, and if we look at those 7 trends, what I see a very big impact is it's making it more equitable and accessible to all. So imagine we just think, say, in a first world country, you have hospitals, etc. But imagine having accessibility to AI out in the field. Let's say there's a place where all you got is a solar panel for the entire village, as an example. Let's say you're out in a country in Africa, in the East somewhere, and you don't have access to all this like really good healthcare knowledge and information, etc. AI can make healthcare and health tech more accessible to a lot more people. And I'm sure the more that gets developed, the cheaper it's going to get, which makes, again, more accessible to all. So I think there's a lot of positive benefits. So I mean, let's wrap it up quickly. So the future of healthcare is here. It's going to be powered by AI and all kinds of automations and so on. So whether you're a patient, you're a healthcare provider, or you're just someone fascinated by this whole intersection of technology, medicine, and all these advances, because it's going to impact your life, and I think you should be interested. So in the coming years, what do you think? So what do you think? And I'm going to ask you, Dimitri, and then we're going to leave that question open to the comments below. What do you think? What excites you about AI in healthcare?
Well, I mean, what excites me, I guess I always was involved in the technology advancement, right? And before AI, a lot of people were struggling because the pace of the industry growth was very quick. And I always enjoyed to learn something new, to move to something else, build something new, more advancement. And AI actually, from my standpoint, is actually increase the space of growth. And I do like how it's being developed, how much new stuff is created, and how much a good stuff is created, especially related to the healthcare, and how much new patient care, new types of the patient care, how much we can help people using current technology, and how quickly it evolves and how quickly it getting deployed to the field. That's what I like about artificial intelligence, and its efficiency, and how quickly we can jump, like efficiency of the image reading, reducing false positive or false negative results, make it more perfect, make it more quicker, make it more efficient. That's what I like, and I myself enjoy when things getting more perfect, more quicker, more efficient. that excites me.
So thanks, Dimitri. So thanks, everyone. Hopefully you found this episode interesting, inspiring. Please don't forget to subscribe, share with your friends. I think this is a new one, so please share with your friends. If you find this interesting, share. And basically, until next time. So until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and remember, healthcare is being written or rewritten right now, one line of AI code at a time. So all the best, everyone. Have a chat to you on the next episode. Goodbye.
Goodbye.